Alright. Let's help out Sebastian.
That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
Yeah, things are about to get a little weird in this place.
There is something very wrong in here.
More! You lazy son of a bitch! What's taking so long?
Flora?
Why does no one in this house care what I want? More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
More logs. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
Perhaps I should be the one.
We must end this madness.
Perhaps I should be the one to have gold on me. First day of harvest, Mir. Mother finally began her expansion of the estate today. She brought in 24 men from the Imperium, who I'm sure were slaves, and they've been excavating the hillside behind the house. The dirt is awful. And the noise! Oh, must they shatter every rock in Kirkwall? It's been quiet since lunch, though, and my mother is behaving very strangely. She's now talking about stopping the expansion, just like that, with no explanation. She never tells me anything.
I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings-on.
I just realized I probably should have brought Isabella here. The Vale family. Before the Vales came to power, Starkhaven was ruled in quick succession by a number of petty warlords. Some were genuine Banorn, but others were little more than bandits. Tired of the constant petty raiding and warfare between Starkhaven and neighboring cities, the original Lord Vale organized a peaceful protest against King Ironfist, the lowborn self-declared King of Starkhaven. Hundreds of Starkhaven's most prominent citizens fasted for 10 days and nights on the steps of the Chantry, their numbers increasing every day. When his soldiers began deserting in droves at this example of piety, Ironfist surrendered his sword to the Templars and left Starkhaven forever. In gratitude, the people of Starkhaven demanded that Lord Vale be king. He refused, however, saying that he had no right to that title. He was instead proclaimed Prince of Starkhaven, and his family has ruled there ever since. They remain devout, dedicating at least one son or daughter per generation to become a cleric in the Chantry.
Oh, lower, lower.
Oh my.
Beg your pardon, Hawk. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
What are they even doing? The family.
No, the feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him to join us.
So yeah, you can imagine why I would have wanted to bring Isabella here. She would have at least one or two, oh my, amusing things to say about that situation. and all of a sudden they're down here.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
You're not in a strong negotiating position.
You shall not enter.
Temptresses. A ruin, so close to Hightown. I remember no such thing. Shadows, more of them!
Can you guys imagine how much I'm loving having Hawk just, you know, slash things up with Frostmourne in her hands? Just loving that. Meryl, out of my way. An extra room with nothing in it. Waste of space. But you can tell the similarities in this room compared to the others, right? Love how they just stand there and take it. Right on the chin. Nope. Extra areas with nothing. I hate that. It's like, let something be there. The Demon's Gift. Before the first blight, there lived an old man and woman. One day, a beautiful stranger came to their house seeking shelter. The old man and woman gave her food to eat. Man and woman gave her food to eat and a downy mattress to sleep upon. In return, she offered them a golden mirror that would grant 3 wishes. Looking into the mirror, the woman frowned at her wrinkles and gray hair. "I wish I were young again," she said. Suddenly, the face of a lovely maiden stared back at her. The man angrily grabbed the mirror and saying, "You're so selfish! You could have given youth to us both!" I wish you weren't so stupid. At once the woman was brilliant beyond measure and saw that her husband had never loved her. He tolerated her only because her age and ignorance made his own seem less by comparison. Angry now, the old woman grabbed for the mirror. At the same time, they both said, I hate you, I wish that you get exactly what you deserve. With that, they were back together. Both ugly and old, but now knowing exactly how much contempt they had for each other. Wow. Ho ho ho! That was an interesting story. Be careful what you wish for. Speaking of wishes, come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you silly game, you can do it. This is why I quick saved just before this. There we go.
Haven will not submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much. Your desires run deep. You've already traded your husband and your children. What more can you offer?
Your plot ends here.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here? Sebastian!
You were my mother's friend. How could you murder her?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished. But it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
I will hear no more from you.
Yeah, remember, this Hawk is in favor of what the Templars are doing. She's not going to entertain that thought.
Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady Harriman's soul. Let us return to the Chantry. I must pray for Lady...
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
They're all dead. Your mother, too.
My mother has not existed for some time. What died today was only a puppet of the demon. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.
So now let's head to the Chantry and have a talk with Sebastian. Plus, we found something for him that I'm sure he'll want to have.
You never come to the alienage, Fenris.
I don't live in the alienage.
Don't you care about the plight of our people? Not even a little bit.
I don't need to visit the alienage to know what they suffer. I know it better than you.
I've lived there for years. I see it firsthand.
And I lived it.
Yeah.
Do you know that in Tevinter the Chantry receives a tithe for each slave sold?
Yeah, we get to talk to Dorian about this.
We're here to...
Avert your eyes, witch.
You said I was dwelling on useless history. But what are you doing? The past is important to you and to all of us. We must know it to move forward.
You had a life. You had a family. And you abandoned them to chase after ghosts. We are nothing alike. Don't even begin to think that we are.
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch. But I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
The Harrimans won't stand against you. Will you ride back to Starkhaven now?
I don't know. Flora said others are still vying for the title. I should find out who before I charge in blindly. In truth, I can't feel as righteous as I did before. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the Chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
Don't let the demon make you doubt yourself.
In trying to retake Starkhaven, I have already brought death to so many. Could I ever do enough good as Prince to justify that?
Would you stand aside and let someone else claim what your family fought and died for?
I know you've done great things in Kirkwall, Hawk. I imagine your methods haven't always been scrupulous. But you clearly do more good than harm. I just don't know if I can follow that road. I'm giving it all up. I made a vow to the Chantry, and it was wrong to turn my back.
Sebastian, listen to yourself. You're as impulsive now as the day you turned away from us. Do you think the Maker wants another rashly spoken vow that you'll abandon when the next passion takes you?
I will not...
This is your life, child. Don't spend it being blown about like a weather vane. And here's Hawk, come to goad you into further heroics, no doubt?
Have you done something dumb again?
No. I'm finally doing something smart. I know you don't agree, but I can't continue to break my oath. And for what? Why would I want to rule Starkhaven and deal with jackals like Lady Harriman for the rest of my life?
Yeah, you can romance Sebastian. I can't say I would encourage it. I found his romance to be kind of boring.
Do you see yourself as a prince? Or a priest?
That's exactly the question I've been praying for guidance about. When I think of going to Starkhaven, calling on allies like Flora Harriman and all the corrupt, scheming nobles, my throat swells shut in horror. When I think about staying, I'm at peace.
If you give it up, what then?
I suppose I must convince Elthina my commitment is sincere. Then I will remain here, to represent the Maker's interests as she thinks best.
You don't become a prince because you want to. You do it because it's your responsibility.
I do not have hubris enough to imagine it matters to the common people who rules them. Someone will take the reins. The fields will be planted, the crops gathered. No one will notice that a Vale lives and isn't there, and I can devote my life to the Maker's will on Thedas.
I can't believe you turn your back on Starkhaven now. After all we've done.
I've been praying for guidance and had nothing. I cannot return to Starkhaven and subject my people to war without a clear sign that it's the Maker's will.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company mercenaries had it.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13.
Oops, sorry.
But my parents pledged me to the Chantry.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
Think of them with every arrow you fire to retake your land.
Yes, this will be a fitting weapon to carry against the usurpers. Thank you for thinking of me, Hawk.
So, he then equips it. And you can put a couple of runes on it. It's got nature damage on it, so it's a fine bow. Probably not as strong as the one I had him using before, but actually, you know what? It is. It has more stats, but it has one less rune slot. This one has 2 rune slots, so I could put a couple of runes on there and make it stronger. Plus, it does a bit more actual 86 physical damage. So, yeah.
I think Grandfather is smiling now, seeing me holding his bow.
A demon behind the attack on Sebastian's family. Truly, whatever has happened in Kirkwall has thinned the Vale. I must pray to Andraste for guidance. The Maker would not set me a challenge greater than I can manage.
Yeah. So, what is this? Oh, that's right. We have to go talk to her about that. We also, you know what? Let's go pay Anders a visit. Alright, and now we get rid of Sebastian, and he probably never joins our party again.
There are still many refugees.
I found something. You're more likely to make use of it than me.
I don't understand. You got me a gift. Is there some free March's holiday I'm not aware of? Is it a... That's a Tevinter Chantry amulet. Do you want me to get executed? It's sacrilege to wear those in any land under the Divine.
It's a symbol of mage freedom. If you don't like it, don't take it.
No, I like it. You just... surprised me. I wouldn't know where to get something like that around here. I've never really thought about what life would be like in the Tevinter Chantry. In the Circle, they make it sound like the Void itself. The Black Divine stalking Thedas, making it unsafe for kittens and virgins.
Again, I really love the dialogue we get with Dorian and Inquisition, where we literally can talk to him about that specific subject. It's very fascinating.
I don't support the Tevinter Chantry. I just thought you'd like the amulet.
Well, I do. Thank you. I appreciate the gift. Perhaps one day I can return one as meaningful.
Well, we'll have to see about that. Alright, so I think before we consider doing that main story stuff, we'll probably go ahead and do this in the next video, and, well, let's just say I'm also contemplating us doing this particular DLC in this act specifically. Yeah, so that will probably be coming up sooner rather than later, for a specific reason. But, yeah, stay tuned.